What is up, and welcome to Teacher Tech Training. And so in this edition, we are going to be talking about how to work in Google Sites. So you can see here that I've just have my web browser open to google.com and go ahead and sign in. So you want to sign in to your school that uses Google Apps for Education. And here you go. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I have my username and password already in there. And voila, I am now signed in. You have your little logo in the top right hand corner. And since we're working in Google Sites, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in sites.google.com. And when you go ahead and press enter, it's going to take you to the old school Google Sites. And so this is good if you want to live into the 1990s, but we're going to go right down here underneath of create. In that column right there, it says new Google Sites. So let's go ahead and click on that button. And it's going to take us to the upgraded Google Sites. It says, yay, meet the new Google Sites. Effortlessly create and share beautiful sites for your team, project, or event. We want to go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to give you the walk down here. And it says start your first site. And he's so happy. What we're going to do is go down in the bottom right hand corner. It might be cut off a little bit, but it's that giant red circle with a plus. We want to click that, and it's going to take you to the brand new Google site. So it's going to tell us that we're going to add some content. It's going to tell us that we can move things around, and we can work with others. And so this is a really great feature, especially if you're working in a content area such as math, language arts, science, any of the content fields. If you're teaching a foreign language, you can add all the different collaborators, so you do not have to do this by yourself. So it's really cool. And then at the very end, we're going to publish it and make it go live. So we're going to hit OK, got it. And now we are at our web page. And so first thing is we want to make sure to give this a title here. So I'm going to give this a title of Awesome Career Switchers, since I'm doing this for the Shenandoah Career Switchers. And now we have our home page. And so here in this top part here, this is going to be the first thing that people see. And so you can enter an awesome title here, awesome, if I can spell right, title. And the cool thing is you can use these blue dots to maneuver things around. So you can kind of position it to where you want. And you notice that it gave me this little window right here where I can actually change out some of the styles. So you have normal text, made it small. I can change it back to title. You can change it to heading or subheading. And so you can see that there are just some different styles here for the text. And the cool thing with these banners is that we can change out our header type. So our header type, we can just set it to title, banner, or awesomely large banner. So I'm going to set it to banner because I think large banner maybe is a little too big. And voila, you have a really cool title here. And so some features on the right hand side that we're going to deal with. First thing I'd like to do is if you click on pages, you can see that this is where we're going to add all of our pages at. But the fun thing to play around first is themes. And so here we're in the simple theme. And you can see that we can go ahead and change colors just by clicking on the little color buttons. And we can also change out our font style. So I change it heavy, classic. But you know, you have some different types of themes here. So I clicked on Aristotle, gave you this kind of cool building look. You can see it added some different graphics. You know, colors do some different things. So you really want to kind of take some time, maybe pause this video, kind of play with the different styles. Impressions cut off. I like impression a lot because I like that cool digital background in the back. And font styles, I think I'm going to keep it because I really like that kind of font style. It's my gig. And so here we have our home page. And so you see that there is some blank space right here. This is where we can add the goodness. And so go ahead and double click anywhere. So I'm going to click twice my mouse pad and it's going to pull up this circle here. And this is where you can add all kinds of different things. So I'm going to start with the first thing is adding some text. So if I click add text, it gives me a place to type. So I'm going to start typing in my text here. So I'm going to type in hello world, because that's usually the first thing you do when you build a website. And this time it gives you some different features. And so we have our normal button I showed you at the top where we can do title, heading, or subheading. So I'm going to make this my heading. Let's make it normal text so I can show you the other ones. We also have bold, italicize. We can change the alignment so I can make it to the right or to the left. I'm going to keep it left. We can also add different lists. So we have one, 2, or 3. We can add bullets, so we can make those bullets if we want. And then the cool thing is that we can insert some links here, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute. And then say if you don't like anything you just did, we can go in and trash it. And then the fun little 3 dots, more editing options. And so in these more editing options, you can actually insert, oh no, this is code font. So it makes it look like it's code. Let's try to type some things in here. Code font. So you can see it kind of did some different formatting there. But let's go ahead and keep this because I like that right there. And you notice that there's some buttons here on the left-hand side. And so if you click on this little palette here, section background, ooh, this makes it look even cooler. So you have emphasis 1, emphasis 2 makes it green. And then you can also add an image to the background here. And it doesn't like me for right now, but I'm just going to leave it green because it looks really cool. So you can see here that we have our little hello world. I'm going to resize this. So you notice it gives you some different resizing options. I'm going to keep my text box right there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click right next to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a URL. So it says embed from website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go to youtube.com. And I'm going to go ahead and search. You can see my kids obviously love bowling and Little Einsteins. I'm going to search up Math Superstars. I hear this is a really great channel. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a video in here. So obviously I don't need to play that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here in the link. I'm going to make it blue. I'm going to right click and hit copy. I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to right click and hit paste. Ooh, voila, it's going to let me add a video. And so right now I added a video. You can go ahead and resize that video to make it bigger or smaller. And then there are some different options. And so you can have this open up a new tab if you want, but I like to play it on the website. Little sprocket here. And so you have some different features that you can kind of mess around with. I don't like to change any of this. Ooh, progress bar. White, and I like to keep it red. Allow full screen is always a good option, and we're going to go ahead and hit done. And so right now we've been messing around with our homepage. And so, wow, we got some content on here. We want to see what this content looks like. And so we have this little eyeball kind of looking at us up here. Go ahead and click on that. It gives you a preview of the website, and it will all of a sudden morph into a website. And so right now we have our awesome title, we have our hello world, and then we have our video that we can play, jam away to the awesomeness. That is my little music in the beginning. But there's some cool things down here, and so the one that's highlighted is for a desktop version, but we can also make it to see what the mobile versions look like. So this is what it'll look like on a phone when it's held in the portrait mode. And then you can also see what happens when you hold it in landscape. So some cool things if you want to kind of play around with what the mobile versions are going to look like. And the mobile versions are really important because most people will be looking at your website through their phone. And so if you use this in the classroom, the students, they're going to click it from their iPhone or their Android or their iPad. And so it's really important to test your website using these mobile versions. But since I'm done testing, I'm going to hit exit preview, and it's going to morph me back to my website. And so we're done with our home page. Let's go ahead and insert another page. So all we have to do is we're going to hit the add page button. So we go to pages and then add page. And then we're going to give a page name. And so I'm going to type in good Google preview. Oops, preview. And then hit done. And voila, it's created me a second page. And so here we're going to play around with some of the same options here. We have our header type. I like the banner because it looks super cool. And you notice now it's going to give us a little sprocket. So if you go right by the title and click on the sprocket, it's going to give you some navigation mode. So here we have top navigation, where we have our buttons at the top, or we can have side navigation, which looks really cool. All of a sudden the buttons, they went away, and now you have these three little lines. If you click that, it makes it look ultra cool and it has all the pages listed down. I like the ultra cool way, but it's up to you to decide what you like the best. So for this good Google preview, we're going to go and play around with it, hang out in this insert button here. And so just like how if we just double clicked anywhere, we had our circle here. What we can do is we can play around with it from the insert screen right here. And so if we want to go ahead and insert an image, I can just click on image. Let's see if I have anything in my albums. Ooh, I have lots of things in my albums. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add this picture. Let's go ahead and select it and add it in there. So I just added a picture. You can see how easy that was, and it gave me some different tools here. And so I can crop this picture. So you can play around with some cropping tools. Oops. Obviously you can adjust that, play with those. I like to play with things on the website. And so the cool thing is that you can resize this. So I'm going to resize this so I can add some more good stuff in here. And say if I added the picture and I just remember I can double tap and add text. Great quote to live by. So right now I added an image with some text. And so right now what I can do is I can actually add more going down to this website. So if I double click down in here, you can see you have the same features here. So let me add some text here. More awesomeness. And I'm going to resize it because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to insert something from Google Drive. And so I'm going to highlight this box, and then I'm going to go find Google Drive from Drive. So if I click that, since I'm logged in my Google Drive, let's see what kind of good things that I have in here. So I have, I have my notes from my ratios. Oh, showed up underneath. So what I can do is I can actually click and drag it and move it up to where I want it, right next to More Awesomeness. And so I'm going to resize it because I like that. And what this does is now there's a PDF preview right here in this window, right from my Google Drive. And so anyone that has this website, they can actually see different PDF documents that you put up here. So once again, I can still add some more awesomeness here. And so you can see here we have YouTube. You can put a calendar. Let's put a map just because it's fun. I'm going to allow my location. And we could go ahead and let's select it. I added in my map. And then that's kind of cool, I guess. You can see Leesburg Animal Park there. It's where I live, not in the animal park, but around the corner. And then the cool thing is you can also add some different Google Docs. So I'm going to add a Google slide here. Let's see what kind of Google slides I got. Ooh, technology in the classroom. Let's go ahead and click that one. That looks good, but I don't like it there. I'm going to put it right next to that. And so you can see I got a lot of different things. It's super easy. I'm just clicking and dragging. You can move it around to what maybe I want it down here again. Maybe you can put it in the middle if you want. And so just to check to see what I got going on right now, you can hit the preview button. So as I hit the preview button, it's going to morph and it's going to make it into the website. So if I scroll down, you can see here's the PDF. Totally cool. some cool things about the PDF when your users see it. They can hit pop out and they should be able to see the full PDF document with print and a download button. Ultra awesome and amazing. I can see my map, which I just scrolled way out of. But if you click, there's some buttons they can click on. What's that one do? Ooh, I can see the trees. And then the cool thing about Google Slides is I can actually embed different slides in there. So all the slides, you can have that loop through if you want. So there's all kinds of different fun tools that you can play with that. So you can see, obviously, this is my, oh, there we go. There's the desktop version. Desktop version has on the side the links. I was in the mobile version. So in my mobile version, the users will get their three lines that will pop out. And then you can also see the landscape view. Landscape view is pretty cool because this is the scrolling feature there. I think they'll have to click on that. You have to click on the slides. They can actually see them on their phone. Ultra cool. So we got lots of really cool things going on here. The really great thing is that you can add as many pages as you'd like in there and kind of experiment with a workflow to see what you like the best. What we have here underneath more, if you want to take the tour again, you can. But when you're done, you can hit publish. And so when you hit publish, what will happen is you want to set it to anyone on the web. And then you want to actually give your site a name. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it CS demo just for the sake of this video. Because I want to make some other websites. This is obviously a demo website. And I'm going to go and hit publish. And so what will happen here is that if I click on, now I have a little down arrow here, I can hit view publish site. So right now my site is live to the world. And so here's my URL that I'm going to share out at the top, sites.google.com / and it has the rest of the information. You can see where CS demo is there. And so say if I wanted to click on the next page, I can see all the really cool things here. And so some helpful tips as you're going to get started with your website. You kind of want to lay out your site first. Here I'm just kind of just clicking and typing and adding things. But really, whatever your purpose is about your website, you can actually try to lay it out first. And so in another video, what I'm going to show you is a fully put together website that I did for one of my math classes, and you'll be able to see how the workflow works.